Giving a voice to the voiceless. We share the stories behind our freedoms and the ultimate sacrifice of those who protect us all. This is Patriots Inside the Wire.
Patriot is someone who was willing to give his life for his country and serve honorably in Iraq.
Beautiful thing to see the family and friends come together and honor his life and his service to our country.
Great to see you guys out here. This is awesome, really.
Welcome to the Patriots Inside the Wire broadcast, hosted by Gold Star mom, Tracy Two-Step.
Hey, how's it going out there tonight? You are on Patriots Inside the Wire live tonight with not just the host of Tracy Two-Step, but with Jim McCollum tonight. How are you doing tonight, Jim?
Doing very well.
Well, good. I know we've had a lot that has gone on this week. We have a special guest tonight. We want to make sure and get him pulled up so that we don't keep him too long. He's always been good to us, and especially our military, our families, just all across. So that is the commissioner in Texas, the agricultural commissioner, Mr. Sid Miller. If you do not know him yet, I promise you will love him once you get to know him, because he's not just Texas, but we do claim him here. So just to let you know that we do claim him. He is on usually the last Wednesday of every month. And so I'm giving everyone a second. Please go grab your friends, share this, get people to watch. It will be a podcast. It is radio now. That's a big announcement we'll tell you about at the end of the show. But it's Wednesday, the night before Thanksgiving, everyone. So welcome to Patriots Inside the Wire. We hope you enjoy it. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the commissioner, Jim, unless you have a shout out you'd like to do real quick.
I just want to introduce my two daughters.
Okay.
This one is Royce, and we've talked about her quite a bit. And then Cheyenne and my granddaughter Asher. And we're all together for Thanksgiving.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I have heard the names so many times. You know, we talk about Riley, we talk about Two-Step. We'll say Sergeant Two-Step, our kids so much, and then we'll talk about the siblings. Like that's a massive part of something I want to work on, and that part of the reason that I talk to the commissioner a lot. So, ironically, having him here is wonderful. So, it is very, very good to meet you, girls. I literally feel like I know you.
Nice to meet you.
So, I hope that you are okay with welcoming me into the family. I kind of like that. I'm a truth teller. It's family. That's what it's about. So everyone, thank you again for joining us on Patriots Inside the Wire. Here tonight, you have Mr. Sid Miller, Texas Agricultural Commissioner, friend, and magician for whatever the heck is going on that you need fixed. How about that one? Hello, Mr. Miller. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing just great. Just happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
You as well.
Yes. Yes. So, Commissioner, it's been busy. I know that we spoke to you prior to elections, so we won't do all about elections, but I just want to say thank you and hallelujah on that one. I did receive this in the mail, everybody.
Oh, that's a good. I like that.
Yeah, I was unaware of it. I thought, oh, wait. One of the rebels out there. So, Commissioner, you know, it's the night before Thanksgiving. What can you tell us? First off, when you have met with and you've been gone a lot. So, when you've been conferring with President Trump, and I noticed the AG, the agricultural individual, the female that was picked. Is that someone that you know, and is that a position of that individual that you're happy about?
Well, you're talking about Brooke Rollins.
Brooke.
Yeah.
Her and her mother, you know, they lived about 30 minutes from me. I've known them for 25 years.
Nice.
I was their state representative in the legislature. So I've known Brooke a long time. She's a Trump loyalist. She, for the last 22 years, she's been head of two think tanks, conservative think tanks, fighting for property rights, against eminent domain, freedom-loving causes. So we have a lot in common. We both want to stop China from buying any more farmland, any of our enemies from buying farmland. So there's a lot of things that we have, a lot of synergy, a lot of things we have in common. So it was quite a surprise to everybody. No one saw that one coming.
Nope.
She was actually in the running. It was between her and Susie Wiles to be Susie Wiles to be chief of staff for Donald Trump.
Okay.
She worked in the White House, the first administration, as a presidential advisor. So, but she got passed over. Susie Wiles is now the chief of staff, and Donald Trump was running through them really fast, and I think he just had 4 cabinet positions left. So she got one of those, and she is the is the nominee for Secretary of USDA.
Awesome.
Well, I thought it was great. I know that I didn't want to see you leaving Texas. I know that for everything that you do, it's not just here in Texas, it's all over. So that part I was like, well, good. He's not leaving. Although you are gone quite a bit now. So we'll get into legislation rolling into next year for Sergeant Two-Step. And I'll get to put off my hat as far as working on all those different things we needed to work on. But thank you. I wanted to say thank you for this whole year. Every last Wednesday of the month, you've been there for Patriots Inside the Wire. So thank you for that. Taking care of our Gold Star families, our Border Patrol families, Patriots, veterans, whether that's artists that come on the show. Music is very, very big with me as far as it's medicinal. It's my therapy. So I thank you for that. And a happy Thanksgiving to you tomorrow. Do you have a tradition that is a one that you can tell us out there? Is there a tip or a tradition?
Well, we actually have 2 Thanksgivings. My side of the family we had last Sunday. I had about 40 of my family here at our house. So it was a great day, one of the best days I've had in a long time. And then tomorrow we have my wife's side of the family. We're hosting that side of the family. So we're doing it twice. So that means we're going to gain twice as much weight as every other. two
Well,
big families. So it was very enjoyable. I just had my 5 grandkids over all day yesterday, and today they just went home. So it's good to be. It's a good time of year when we get to be with family and get to reflect on what truly means something to us and why we do the things we do. So it is a time of Thanksgiving, but it's also a time to be with family and friends.
Absolutely.
That's very, very true. So, and I know you've been on the road a lot, so that means even more right now that you're able to do that. So, will you be carving that turkey tomorrow?
I am the official turkey and ham carver. Have numerous years, and I've got this faithful electric knife that I use. If it ever quits me, I guess I'll just have to go back to the old regular knife. But I get along pretty good. I'm worthy and well experienced.
Well, we can get you into a Ford to get a knife made. So there in San Antonio at Fort St. in Houston, there's a lot of that. So I'm just glad to have you on. We will be getting in touch with you about, again, legislation, Sergeant Two-Step, Gold Star families being taken care of, and some things that we've talked about to finally get in there and get some things done now that we're moving forward in the other areas. So I appreciate it, and I'm very grateful and thankful, that you have taken your time to notice and recognize, the people. So we appreciate that.
That's easy to do, actually. So thank you for all you.
Well, thank you. With the time I know that you've got running all around, it's not as easy as it seems, but you've done that, and I can't wait to talk to you more. I will get down there to the office and we'll get started on some legislation. And please tell Trump the Two-Step Act is going back federal because this whole state to state business does not work well for me. You know me. I need to just go straight to the top. I can't do the whole climb up the ladder. I can if it's fair, but it's going back. It's going back where it was. Same as Trump. We're getting it back. So I can't wait.
But
Well,
it is,
happy Thanksgiving
it's
to
an
you,
exciting
Commissioner.
it's an exciting time for our country. I know we're excited to, finally seal our border. We're going to get some real good horse trading or negotiations using tariffs. We've got water issues to take care of. We have a $45 billion agriculture food trade deficit. That's never happened in our life ever. If we've always produced more than we could use and sold the rest or exported the rest of it. So that's upside down. It's terrible. We've got to deal with that. There's many issues I mentioned earlier. Stop our enemies from buying our farmland and moving in next door to our military bases. That should be actually it's one of the stupidest things we allow to happen. You'd think you'd stop that, but we do a lot of things that are not real smart. So there's a lot of work to be done. And the legislature at the state level, they'll be back in session January 14th. It's not that far away. So less than 60 days. And
Yes.
back in, they're going to have to, first vote they're going to take is for the Speaker of the House. That's very controversial right now with the current Speaker, doesn't have the votes that he had last time.
Are you talking about Johnson?
No, I'm talking about the State House. At the State House.
Yes. Okay.
Dade Phelan.
Yeah.
And
but we could do a whole show on that one.
yeah, he has a challenger. So I think December 7th, the Republican caucus is going to meet, and if they're successful, we'll come out of there united behind one Republican, and take that nomination to the floor. So we should know, with relative certainty, December 7th, who the Speaker of the Texas House will be. December 7th or 8th, probably.
Well, you've got it right here, Commissioner. So thank you for that. I'll be getting in there. We'll need someone in the Senate. So somebody's got their Facebook on, so there is feedback, but we're good. We'll get in there and look for Senate and a House rep, and for Sergeant Two-Step, the Two-Step Act. So I'll let you get through Thanksgiving.
Quite a number of new freshmen. I haven't added it up. Somewhere around 25 or 30, maybe 32 new members of the Texas House. So quite a large turnover. So there'll be a lot of freshman members trying to figure out where the restrooms are.
Well, I know how it works. So not a freshman, but definitely prefer to work federal. But as far as that goes, it's all about helping the people. So I just want to get in there and make things right and make sure we take care of it. So,
well, we will have a new Congress January I believe it's the 3rd is when the new Congress is in session, and they'll actually be meeting prior to the president being sworn in on January 20th. So those are some important dates. January 20th we'll have new legislation, and hopefully, he'll repeal a lot of the Biden era wokeness, all of the things that have, just driven our country into the ground.
I agree, sir. Well, then it sounds like I'll get a hold of you a lot sooner, and try to get a bill number going for the Two-Step Act. So anybody listening out there, and I understand the reverb where it's coming from. Anybody out there, the number 2. So Two-Step Act, ACT.com, twostep-act.com. Two-Step is my son, Sergeant Two-Step. I'm good. He's there over me. So as we have Jim here, Riley is his son that was serving. Sergeant Two-Step is mine. We'll get back in there for the Two-Step Act, and we will knock it out again.
Well, good.
So,
The pre-filing of bills has already started. So there's been a number of bills.
I've just been waiting on you.
So don't wait on me. Just you get going, lady.
You've been so busy. You've been so busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and me. So I'll get in touch with you on that, just for the advice of kind of which way to go. We've all been working so hard. I think this year that I'll take a little bit of that time and do that. So, well, thank you for coming on Patriots Inside the Wire. It is good to finally see you. I haven't seen you in a while. So every last Wednesday, everyone out there, tune in. You'll get to hear more from the commissioner. But happy Thanksgiving. And say hello to your family. And we're all grateful for all that you've done out there for this country. That's for sure.
And, I'm going to keep doing it. So thanks for having me on. God bless you. God bless everybody. And
yes, sir.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
That's right. That's right. And go Texas certified, right? All right. Thank you, sir. All right, Jim. So the commissioner's doing great. Let's check the audio. Yours was doing fine. Mine was doing fine. That was because let's just make sure as we go forward, nobody has on a social media account. That causes a lot of reverb. So I do believe it was the commissioner. Yes, I'm a truth teller. Yes, I just said it. So tonight on the show, so everybody that's listening, watching, all those things, if it's not right now and it's a little bit later, we actually have a guest tonight, and I'm going to be honest, I actually haven't talked to him before. Normally, before I do this, I would have at least a little bit of a conversation. However, we have a mutual friend in common, and from my days in radio, which Jim, I always laugh and say, no one ever says, well, what did you do before my son? It's kind of like our life started when that happened, but I don't know that, and I'm being nice here. I don't know that I'd even be friends with certain people. I had to be like I'm in this lane, but now I've got to balance life. And I'm getting, you know what I mean? It's like,
Absolutely.
Yeah, my background is in, and that's what it is, radio music. And so it is 8:36. I'm going to go ahead and bring him on, Jim. And this is Uncle Rhino. Hello, sir. You are on right now live with Patriots Inside the Wire. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me, Jackie. Good to meet you, Jim.
Hello, sir.
Hello. And I am Tracy, by the way. So
I said, Jackie, I'm so sorry.
I
was going through. I had a bunch of emails. Just for full disclosure, I was retired for a decade and a half, and this year's been nuts. So I was at the Grammys. I got flown out to the Grammys. I've been at Cayo Ocho. I've been at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, South by Southwest, Jazz Fest, all the way up to this morning. I did a radio live interview. Then I had to wake up this morning at the crack of, oh my God. So I've been running ever since.
Well, you know what? I've had a lot of conversations about you with our mutual friend there, and then I guess we'll announce it. So I had previously worked with and I'll say the station KLBJ before. So would you like to be called Uncle or Uncle Rhino?
Friend, you can call me Rhino. My friends call me Unc. When I was out at the Grammys, I was the only one that didn't have a hip hop background. I had gone out with Malik Youssef had brought me out. He'd written all the hits for Beyonce and Kanye and all those young guys out there. They'd never seen anything like me before. So we had a great opportunity to hang out and just let our souls intertwine. There was no fences in between us, and I got to show them the country music, what I fell in love with, and they had never been exposed to it before. And you saw it just taking hold, and the three chords and the truth, because for a plethora of different reasons, they had never been able to allow themselves much exposure to it. So it was always the cliche or something that was their impression. And for country, I've torn down all the fences and walls 20 years ago with music, because people who are traditionalists I love to have one-on-one talks with them in private, and we'll go through all the history of their favorite musicians and all the battles they fought, which were exactly the same.
Yes,
But
sir. Yes, sir. So I'm gonna call you Uncle Rhino to everybody out there. I'm gonna say Um, what inspired you? So I know that this last year you've been coming back strong. What is it that inspired you to come back into music? And tell us something about you in your music and the accomplishments, and maybe who you've worked with. Like, give us a little bit about you.
Ooh, like you said to the commissioner, that's almost a whole nother call about what I did in the past already. But for 20 years, I did the conventional thing. I had 4 record deals in a year and a half in Nashville. The machine is badly broken. Success coming out of the machine is the exception. It's not the rule, and it usually tells you who is mostly owned, as a rule, the one who comes out. They have all the blessings if and all the endorsements if they're mostly owned. And so I just came up the old way. I moved to Nashville to see if I was good enough. Year and a half, 2 years later, I'm writing with Charlie Daniels. I'm sitting on the back porch with Johnny Cash. I'm writing with Harlan Howard. The guys I never thought I'd ever get to shake their hand, much less sit across the table and write a song with them. And then it crossed over to writing with Eddie Money and writing with Huey Lewis and guys like that. So that I really, even though I had my record deals, my big thing was playing live, and my big thing was writing. That was really in the record deals. What I thought growing up in East Texas, I thought that was going to be the answer to my prayers, but it became the source of my problems. And they ended up keeping me from the very thing that I needed to recharge, and that was the people. And I went through a couple of years with that. I was already trying to do fusion, and I already got tired of people telling me, no, you can't do that. No, that won't work. And then 2 years later, they would try to do a really poor parody of what I was trying to do. And then they would make comments like, yes, I've been called a genius in Billboard magazine. They'd say that about themselves. And so I figured if we were going to do that, I wasn't going to listen to some real weak rock music coming out of Nashville. I was going to go put together a rock band and show them how to do it. And I had an incredible friend of mine, one of the most phenomenal guitar players I've ever seen or met, James Perrineau. He was with Stevie Nicks. He took over the lead guitar position and was my partner in the band. James, that was Jamie. You had Pete Iannacone, who was the band leader for Shakira, and Barry White and Josh Stone. And the 3 of us made Abel Kane, and we just started smacking the floor with the ceiling every place we went. And
I love it. I love it, sir. I love it, sir.
It wasn't country rock. I don't like that. I don't like that word. It wasn't country rock. It was badass rock from outside the city limits. That's what it was.
And I love that. I love that. So as an independent artist now, where can we find you? What do you have coming up? I've got your website here, and I'm going to have that scroll across for everyone. And that's just www.unclerhino.com. And that's Rhino, www.unclerhino.com. And again, that's RYANO.com, Uncle Rhino. Rhino, where will we find you playing? We'll go to your website, of course. And as an independent artist, what are some tips? And what the heck is this with Youngblood?
Well, I think Youngblood's amazing because we have an opportunity. It's not something to be scolded or ostracized. We have a great opportunity. Country music receded from the public, forum because it had become a parody of itself. And this is not the first time that has happened in my lifetime. As a boy, I saw the urban cowboy movement, and then I saw that happen, and then it receded. Then you had the incredible rebirth of country in 1989, class of 89, which was Dwight Yoakam, Garth Brooks, Alan Jackson, Clint Black. And then once again, they saw that there was money to be made, so they started making carbon copies of carbon copies, which just end up looking like squiggles. It was terrible. And it ended up dying off. When the tree gets top heavy, it always falls over. But every time it does, all new growth comes back from the roots. That's what's happening right now. We're seeing it, we're feeling it. Traditional music is fixing to come back like a wrecking ball. And anybody that doesn't want to buy in, don't let the other styles happen, because that's beautiful. The experimentation makes for beautiful things, even though it catches you off a little bit. They said the same thing about Elvis wiggling back in the day, you know?
Yes.
So I mean, people trying to find themselves and also trying to working their heart out, trying to create something new and fresh for the people. That's not something to be ostracized. It may not be our thing. It may not be my thing, but I dig what they're trying to do, and I fully support it, even if I don't understand it. Right?
Well, there you go. There you go. So I used to sing, but I'm not doing that right now. I had a journey that I beat cancer, thank God. So that's a good thing. But as far as your music that you have, I actually have your song tonight in regards to turkeys for Thanksgiving to everybody out there. We've got that one tonight for you. So do not go away. I've got that song for you.
You know, just as you keep talking and I keep seeing connects. So I lost my mother. That's what I originally walked away from music. We had lost a set of twins, my wife and I, and we lost my youngest brother right when I came off the road opening for Kid Rock. And I lost my wife's youngest sister. We lost her, and then we lost my mother. And I had played Fenway Park, Texas Stadium, Ranger Stadium, Falcon Stadium. I always thought my last big show would be like Madison Square Gardens or something. But it turned out it was June 28, 2009. I was sitting on a cedar chest with my Guild guitar, and my mom was in a hospice bed, and I sang her to sleep, and she left at 4:40 in the morning. And I looked at my wife and I said, I'm done. And she said, what do you mean? I said, no, I'm really done. I said, I'll never top that last show. That crowd of one that I just played for, the one who was my first best friend and taught me how to dream and how to sing, I'll never top that. And so that's why I left. And then my wife and my daughter was born 13 months after my mother took her last breath. What my mother prayed for every day and every night was a little girl for me and my wife. And my daughter took her first breath 13 months after my mother took her last.
Well, that's amazing. That's amazing.
My daughter, like you get to where Christmas doesn't mean anything to you. You're too busy. It's a hassle, blah, blah, blah. And then little kids will show you the magic when they stand in front of the tree again. That's what happened with music. And my wife was playing my old stuff for my daughter, and my daughter was really into it. And her and my wife had asked me for 4 years to get back in. And I had said no, that I would tell my daughter, you're the greatest project of my life. I don't do that anymore. And that was that. And then I was a crazy roundabout way. I ended up reconnecting with Billy Ray Cyrus, and he and I had an old song. We were trying to come up with a replacement line for one of my old songs for him. And we came up with a stupid, obnoxious, squirrely line that was just funny. And it was twerking with a twang. It was this line, and we both laughed at how obnoxious it was. And then we turned right around and said, wait a minute, bro, that's a song by itself. And it's not what you think. It's not what you think. You have the twerking word in it, and people go, oh, they start putting the blood of Jesus on me. That's not what's happening. I promise. And that ended up turning into a whole thing that became a 12-song album. And 90 days later, I dropped another 12-song album right after that. And now I'm about to drop 2 more 12-song albums. So
that's fantastic.
It's going crazy. I'm working with Billy Ray. I mixed one of my songs in Eminem's studio up in Detroit. Harry Connick Jr.'s horn section tracked on one of my songs in New Orleans. I got hip hop guys going crazy, mixing beats in Nashville. They laying down fiddles, mandolins, steels, everything. So we just tore down all the fences. I'm romping and stomping.
Well, there you go. I love the romping and stomping. And, we got a lot of that in Texas. So on the side out there, you're looking for any of those kind of guys that are doing what you're doing. We've got a lot of those moving to Texas.
You know,
They're
you know,
leaving Nashville.
I had followed you guys for a minute. Cynthia had told me about you guys. She's my guardian angel, and she had informed me on y'all, and so I started checking you out, and I learned what had happened with your son, and there was a song that crisscrossed everything. It was on every base. It was the Patriot Guard had it as their anthem for years and years, and Rick Perry passed that law that they called the Best of Us bill. Did you ever hear the song "The Best of Us"?
No, sir.
I'm going in and recutting it. That was me, and we're going to go in. We're going to recut it. That was an Abel Kane release that happened because of Sergeant Craig Nelson, who was my little brother's best friend, who we'd lost. And I finished that song for his memorial, and then it meant something to the Gold Star families and to you and your family and every other one just like you. We don't have words in our language to say we're sorry, we love you, and we thank you for your son.
Well, let me tell you something. What you just did, you just touched my heart. I haven't had a guest come on here, a few, but they've been veterans that have ever known what Gold Star means. So to everybody listening out there, I did just have to deal with something that Patriot Guard would come out for, and they come to protect us against idiots. And that's what I call it, idiots, who feel like they can just speak up and do whatever they want when you've got a parent, a sibling, and all standing there, and you've just been jolted and ripped from the part of your life where your child is gone. And then you've got these people that will come in and just think they can just take over and do whatever. And so, as Uncle was just explaining, we have Patriot Guard riders. There's people out there just like the angels we mentioned, Cynthia, trying to watch over. Now, Gold Star families are active duty service members who have been serving for your freedom and everything that we have and to be grateful and thankful for, even tomorrow, no longer here. I don't need to know anything else. I just need to tell you that I am wondering about that family. My heart goes out to you. We love you, and we are grateful, and we are proud. But that sacrifice is, well, it's right here. You got a dad and a mom, two sons right here that I can see Riley's shadow behind Jim there, and you've got my son's shadow over there. I do this all the time for two-step. So, but Unc, I have to tell you, and Jim, I know you know this. Nobody comes on. They're like Gold Star, and someone one time said, "Who do you think you are? You think you're special?" I said, "Oh boy, hold on a minute. I want to change that damn thing to Black Star because
the reason I had not finished that song when my little brother had it called and asked me if I'd written anything patriotic, and I said I have one thing, but I haven't finished it because I didn't have that trigger, that spark. I needed something. I knew about what I wanted to say, but I didn't have that spark to ignite it. And just so I'll tell you the lyric to it because that's just as pertinent even without the music. But it says, "There's a crowd outside my window and it's gathered in the streets. They're screaming and they're yelling all in the name of peace. War never is the answer, but some battles must be fought just as long as we remember who it is that pays the cost. Yeah, they're the best of us. Those women and those men, where angels fear to tread, you see them charge right in, over land or in the air, across some ocean off somewhere. They sacrifice their whole world for the best of us, for the rest of us. And that's why we believe that they're the best of us. Two parents in the heartland waving goodbye to their child. Through the raining down of tears, you see the pride in their smile. And the countless single parents raising children on their own, short on money, short on time, trying to keep that house a home. Yeah, they're the best of us. Those women and those men in the cities, farms, and towns, they're our families, they're our friends. And every night they say a prayer for someone fighting God knows where. They sacrificed their whole world for the rest of us. And that's why we believe they are the best of us. And I'm recutting that, and I'm recutting it for you. I'm recutting it for you, and I'm recutting it for your kids.
Well, I am very, very touched. Honestly, I can tell by looking at you too, Jim. I mean, we don't
Damn
have.
near made me cry.
Yeah.
My-
got me over here tearing up.
My daughter's
When I
that's-
sent that, my brother asked me to do that, I did a guitar. I had a little home studio in Nashville, and I laid down what they call a guitar vocal, just me and the guitar. And then on the track recording, I sang harmony to myself. It was the most simple little production, and I sent it to emailed the MP3 to my brother. A few days later, my email was broken. I didn't know what had happened. It was it had been swamped, and it continued for about a week. And I had more coming in. That Damon thing that comes up, that error thing on your email, it was coming up, and I answered. I had to. It was parents like you saying thank you to me, which was absurd. It was absurd, and I ugly cried for the damn 10 days, snot bubbles and everything. I answered every damn email, everyone myself. And then it gave me the idea. I said, I said, send me a picture of your soldier. I want a picture of your soldier because they're mine too. So send me a picture of your soldier. And I have an idea. And they did. And we made a slideshow that's a living memorial. It's still up today. And we had to extend the song by a minute and a half to fit all the pictures in, but we just continued. If that song would have been 45 minutes, it'd have been a hell of a medley. And we were going to put it together. And when we got, it was so moving. It was so moving, and it meant so much to so many people. It's good when you can pay your light bill with this music thing, but it's just a medium. It's just one of the tools that we can connect with other people. That's what I'm in it for.
Yes, sir. And I do appreciate that, by the way. Let me say thank you. I have to say thank you because the fact that you know what a Gold Star family is, number one, it means the world. And I can see it in Jim's face too. This is not something that a lot of people recognize or even know the definition of what that means. So again, our active duty service members that are no longer here, I don't want to forget about the Border Patrol agent that's in my family too. They should be here. I go back to this. It's about the people. Be kind. We are people. I don't want us all to be the same. I don't want to walk around with robots, but I sure as hell don't need to be around a bunch of chaos. So it's okay. It is all okay to be okay. And you don't have to agree with everything that I agree with. But come on, it is about people and having just that heart. So put the heart back out there. Put the people. And I've got about 60 songs I've written in 2 weeks just because of I've had an interesting month. I'll tell you that. So you can take a look at a few of those and see what you think about it. So I'm ready to hand them off and go here.
Well, now if we do them, you're going to have to be in the video with me. I'm a big collab guy.
Well, we will see.
You thought, Jim, you saw that, Jim. She was sounding like a John boat. She said, whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, you saw that. Baby girl hit the John, got in the mud. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now I don't dare me to do something because I am one of those people that I will show up and bring it and do it 100 times more than somebody told me to do it. So I have to be careful there. I'm a
bad influence.
No. I'm just I go straight to the top. That's what I was telling the commissioner. I don't need to go work with Joe Schmo down there. I'm going straight to the top. I mean, that's a waste of time.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a bad influence. I say, I don't think you will. I don't think you will. Jim's laughing right now.
Jim knows it too. He's like, do not dare that woman to do anything. She will. Almost anything. So trust me. That one, I think, is the reason that Cynthia and I have connected quickly. I was looking to see where I was going to fit back in for Radio Jim. So that's for our radio. I did not want to go back to, I love KLBJ. Shout out to you out there, but I just couldn't go back to the brick and mortar and the 9 to 5. I'd be walking out. I'd have people on. I just know me. Look, I cannot do the PC thing. I can't do it. You can't put me in a box. So I have to be in a lane where I can change that lane and make it positive too, and make a difference, you know. And for me, when you talk about, you mentioned Gold Star families, actually not me. When you go there, it's about the siblings. So I look at Jim. Beside Jim, he's got siblings sitting there and a grandchild. I've got, Adam. I'll say it to you. His name's Adam, but out of the Bible, Sergeant Two Step is my son. Siblings. Nobody remembers the darn brothers and sisters that get nothing. So the military doesn't take care of the siblings. So a sibling scholarship, I'm looking to do something with siblings. So, and I know that Jim, he feels it too. We both feel it for the siblings, not just for us. We've got to do something.
Let's talk about this, and we'll say it right on the air. I always wanted, when I retired, I had a handful of things that were left undone, that were still in my basement that I never told anybody about. The best of us, I would like to use that as a way to generate. I don't need any revenue return on it. I would want that to solely be a revenue generator for homeless veterans. I would want to start. I want to start there. That's really. I want to start. I want to get, like they say, I want to give them the flowers while they're there to take them. That's what I want to do. I don't want to talk about. I don't want to hear another thing about on behalf of a grateful nation when you took the best person that the parents built and a young person that was better than the world deserved, but exactly what it needed, and you were entrusted with it, and you broke it, and then you brought it home and just threw it to the side. That's unacceptable. And so that's where I'm at.
I love it. I love where you're at, and the way that you're walking and kind of rhyming into it. It's interesting because I've been on that journey here recently. We'll show you a couple of pictures here since you're sitting there wanting to understand this right here. If you're going to see the number 2 anywhere right there on my right and your left, that is Sergeant Two Step. That's what we get right there. And then right there. You don't want that. And this is a little brother who was 13 in that picture. He's 6'2" now. He's 15 and 6'2", 240. And that is a little brother of Sergeant Two Step here that we've got going, who should be here. And then up near you, we've got a lot of Gold Star parents. If you recognize those Patriot Guard riders you mentioned are in that picture I've got right there. And I'm about to get to Riley. So up at Fort Hood, there's a whole building begging right now to do a concert. We have Patriot Fest through Patriots Inside the Wire. I have not done it yet. I am just now comfortable coming back. So everybody, I got pulled in a lot of ways, and I've been careful. And so Cynthia, and there's someone else I work with out of Fort Worth, very, very close to, and off air, back channels. I'll let you know who. But I'm just coming back too. So we kind of merged this whole year into I just cram it in and say, let's go, like let's just hit it.
I've been so enthralled because I'm tracking and recording right now in 5 studios, and so literally I've been in October. I was playing Beale Street. Right before that, I was playing House of Blues in New Orleans. I came off of Beale Street, Memphis, where I just spent 10 days in Miami. Came right back here next month with Cynthia and the Texas State Songwriting Championship. My band from Nashville's coming down. I've got heavies from Nashville, Chicago. It's going to be a who's who showing up. I've got hip hop people coming from Chicago to Fort Worth Stockyards. Never seen it before, and they're going to get to see why I fell in love with that part of the world.
Well, that is where we also do something that's coming up in March. So I am a part of that too. And so I've been talking to Cynthia. And so Cynthia and I are kind of merging my world of where I've been in music and what she's doing. So we're going to bring that all together. And that's where I have become comfortable. We have some things in common when it comes to, stay in our lane and what works. And mine is from losing a child. I mean, that's something that rips it right out. And then my vocal cord got cut with cancer. So I can write still, but I get the raspiness from where they cut that cord. But the good news is my health is good. I'm back and I'm ready to go. So I am not going to let anything strike me down. We're going to make sure to reach out, help, touch the people, reach the siblings. That's a very big thing, Unc, right there. I want to show you Riley here. That was Adam I was showing you, Sergeant Two-Step. Look at this, because it's one of my favorites right here. Look at him out there giving the cat the thumbs up there. You know, that's Riley, Jim's son there.
That cat there looks exactly like my cat at home. And I couldn't stand that stupid cat, but my brother loved it, and it attached to him, and it slept with him. And so when he found that cat out there, it was just meant to be. They were meant to be friends.
Oh, well, this is my favorite though, the ice cream. Look at this. And you know, when you're over in that area, it is hot. I mean, hot. So I love those. I had to find those. It's like, hold on now, I got to grab the ones that, you know, I really like. And this is, of course, Jim with Riley. When he was home too. So Jim up there is our recent co-host that we're not going to allow to leave. He is now forever a part of Patriots Inside the Wire, him and his whole family. So Jim did not know that Tracy sits around and writes songs all the time, but I have to know something about Jim too. So I'll snag him on something, but I got plenty for you. I got plenty written. That you can definitely take a look at a few, and I guarantee I already can tell about you. And I wanted to show this one because I happen to know someone's sitting right beside you, Jim. So there she is on that screen right there, and that is the granddaughter of Jim. And again, siblings and their children. Nobody's thinking about where are they? Do they have housing? Do they have food? Where's that family? That mom, the dad, the kids? They joined very early, Unc.
Anything where people step forward when a call comes out, that tells you right there that they come from a culture of honor, and it's a total missing element everywhere else, mostly in the chairs and offices of the people who've made the call. And so for me, they are better than the ones who get us into all these problems. I get extremely frustrated because you see these young men and women who go and are in harm's way, and they volunteered to do it. They volunteered. Some people might be for an education, but for the and I don't. It's fine. I mean, regardless, they stepped forward and said, "Hey, I'll be that guy. I'll be that girl. That woman," and they're all mine. All of them are mine. If I'm in a restaurant, I hope there's no telling how many people got a free lunch just because they'd been duck hunting. If they had on camo, I bought their damn lunch if I saw them sitting in the restaurant. And I do the same thing with peace officers. I do the same thing with firemen. So in EMS. So that's just my personal thing. I'll do it so that they won't necessarily always know who did it, but I want them to know that somebody saw them.
That's right. That's right. It's what it's about. It's about the people again. People taking care of people. We appreciate that. Where can we find your music? I would assume we're going to go on Spotify. We're going to go on iHeart and be able to find that, correct?
Yes, I'm on every streaming platform. I recently had a dust up with Spotify. I was not aware how common this is. I'm playing in 22 major U.S. cities, major markets, in heavy rotation right now. Just came out. Since I came out of retirement, all I did was go make physical appearances. I sang a few places. I dropped a bunch of content. I've just been building content. I didn't do any promotion. And my promotion officially started October 30th. So like 5 minutes ago. And so we took off kicking butt, and the Spotify saw a 23,000 stream jump in a couple of days. So even though I had the digital radio tracker, I had all of the stuff right here in front of me, and I ran through my link to my Spotify song. I ran it through all of their bot detection software that's proprietary to them, and it all came back green screen. Spotify gave me a message in my email that said, "We've detected fake streams with no way to respond or communicate with anyone. And 48 hours later, they pulled that entire album off of Spotify.
Oh,
But it, yeah, with no, there's no accountability. So I mean, to me right now, they really don't have much of a purpose. And I also started doing some digging because I got friends too, and I started calling these folks to find out what's the real pay rate, and what they're paying everybody is not the real pay rate because they're skimming that money and giving it to major label artists. That's why that's why all the kids are getting 0.003 cents per stream. It's because somebody else on a major label is getting triple, quadruple that. So
75%.
and this is, we'll also talk more about this offline. I'll show you some proprietary stuff, but we have a new streaming platform now in the works. It has 7 million invested in it already. It's going to be a beast from farm to table. We're going to be working with these young people through the Springboard Music Fest. Okay, which we've been going around. We select 50 bands each place that we go, take in submissions of thousands. We go in, we select 50. We literally take over a city for a few days when we come in. It's great for the clubs. It's great for all the regional acts to have an opportunity to come and sit with me. They'll sit with Barry Coughing, who's one of the top music licensing entities in the United States. Barry's, he just got another song in the new Venom movie. He's got all this stuff coming out right now. Then Dale Penner of Nickelback, you know, the engineer from Nickelback. We'll all be sitting there together. Danny Jones from the old Chitlin Circuit days, the old rock and roll from Memphis and all that. We have all these people. Plus, we have social media experts that are like legit. They just makes my head pop. I hear a hum. Like, but they, I didn't have social media till about a year ago. So I had none of that. When I came out of retirement, I turned loose my Obi-Wan Kenobi Jedi that I have here at home, which at the time was my 12-year-old daughter, who started putting all my stuff together. And we now have over 30, in total, I think we're around 50 or 52,000 followers now across the platform. So
Nice.
The whisper's getting around.
Well, we love to hear that. We actually are a broadcast that turns to a podcast. We are also on all those different platforms. And then we had to restart too, though. So we had that bump, and now we're trying to climb back up. That's when I found Cynthia, and I've asked a million questions to everybody. I said, let me talk to you first and ask you some real questions about life. And that did happen. Hey, Stephanie, how are you doing out there in Las Vegas? And just so happens that with Cynthia, I was able to go to some areas and ask some things. And it was like, you know what? Like it was all good. Everything was just positive. She's got her lane. I've got mine, and bring that together, and boom, it's just going to be a wonderful, beautiful thing. And so I put up Patriot Fest. It's up by Jim there and his family. That has not happened yet, but Patriot Fest is one of the things that we want to pull off with a UFC match going on, fight card in the day. So
only thing I have up in the air right now, they called me about playing the main stage at Sturgis, but that's in August. So we still haven't worked out all the details on that. And I've got 2 or 3 other things. One's a private party, but it's super awesome. It's there in Texas because it's like the guy who the first concert I ever went to, that guy, he's a country legend. That's all I can tell you. But if it works out, it's going to be me and him doing the music for all these people at this private party. So I'm kind of stoked about that. But
wow.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I've been out for a while. That doesn't mean that well, it may mean that I might need some tips and tricks that are out there. But I'm all about learning, keeping up, checking in. So the writing, I do need to get on a back channel with you and Cynthia as well, with all of my songs before I'm not, I'm pretty quick to understand really quick when I meet you, whether or not I am going to do business. So, or even be a friend for that matter. So it takes me all of 1 second to go, nope.
Are we friends? Are we
You are a
friends?
friend, Unc. So, Unc,
Okay.
you are a friend, and whatever's going on out there in the songwriting business, when I'm trying to get my songs out, I'll just let y'all figure out that part. So I can tell you exactly what's going on. The truth telling, I can connect people all day long. But whatever the heck's going on behind the scenes, I don't want any part of it. I've already had enough stress in my life. So the more that someone can pull me out of that area of stress and understanding what's going on underneath that underbelly, like take it away and go, here you go. This is what
Well,
you do, girl.
if you're going to change this thing, you've got to be able to get down in the mud and be a monster, because it's an entrenched, old, ugly monster that has taken dreams and smashed them. That's the old saying down in Nashville. You go down from Music Row, head on down to Monbrien, down to Lower Broadway. You have the Cumberland River. And I heard somebody tell me one time, they said, the Cumberland River, it never rises and it never goes down. I said, it doesn't. They said, well, that wasn't true, because when they left the dam shut, it flooded Lower Broadway, but that was later. Anyway, they said, yeah, they said it doesn't ever go down. I said, why is that? And he said, because of all the tears. It's all the tears. And that's just, that's life. We're not promised laughter. We're guaranteed tears. So we got to dance between the raindrops. That's facts.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But the thing with Nashville, though, it's a broken machine. And the people who ended up in power were people who didn't have the fortitude or the chops, 90% of them, to go out there and do what it is that we do. So they parlayed a way to stay close to it. They navigated from a tape room in a publishing company to eventually a plugger, eventually to a publisher. And they took credit for the writers who were actually getting the cuts. The publisher themselves was just taking credit. That's like you calling yourself a salesperson and I walk into your store with intent to buy. Okay. At that point, you're not selling anything. You're just a cashier, right? And if you're too slow, they're going to go buy somewhere else, right? So that's kind of what happened. And then those people will take credit for all the songs cut and being someone who can really hear a great song. And then that they'll turn around then and get a lower A&R position at a label. And then it's last man standing. As they die off or leave and move, you ascend, right? And there's some good people. I've met a lot of really good people that were really nice, but they all work for each other. So they bring a publisher. If I'm a publisher and I'm signing you in Nashville, I'm going to say, do you have an attorney? And you're going to say, no. I say, well, I can recommend one if you want me to. Turns out me and that attorney like this. So I recommend you as your publisher, the attorney. And then I turn right around. The attorney says, do you have a manager? And you say, no. And they say, well, I can recommend one if you want me to. Well, most people there, they don't come from a family of that. So they're going to try to think, okay, this person has my best interest at heart. And for Nashville, they probably do as much as they know how to, but they'll take the manager, they'll take the attorney, the publisher, the tour manager, a producer. All these people have their relationship, and their relationship lasts for years and years. Your part and their dynamic may only last 2 years, and then you're burned up like coal, and they've brought in new coal.
Yeah, right? I do. I grew up there in Nashville. So, Tootsie's is the only one still on Broadway. It's the original owner. He's still there. That owner knows my family. I know him. And we pray every day that that family does not sell off Tootsie's when he goes. Now he's an amazing man down there at Tootsie's, at the original, still original down there. So I know exactly what you're talking about. So I appreciate all that. The Cumberland River, every bit of that. I grew up, a lot of people look at me real quick, homeless, looking for food, you name it. And people would be like, what? Surely you didn't. Yeah. But it was right in that area, right there around Broadway and the old Grand Ole Opry. And, I had some people, you mentioned a name, pull me in a side door there and say, they're sitting in there practicing, and that's how I'd get food or whatever it was. So, as a little kid, you don't even care if they're of status or what they are. So you just care that they are letting you sit there and hang out and you got food and you're dry and you're warm. So That's what happened to me. So a couple of things that happened, but it is nice to meet you because that's what you remind me of. You remind me of the original man that was there and is still around, actually. It's just that a lot has changed, and I just looked myself I was thinking maybe I'll go back to Tennessee when I got ready to get back out after losing my own son. And I went and I said, man, something is off here. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to stick to Texas. I've got an idea here, and it's a whole digital movement that's going on. And I know it's where it's going. So I can do technology. I can do digital. I can do all that social media junk. But more importantly,
that's where I need your help because it makes me go crazy.
Well, it's because we have the setup. So yes, it is crazy if you're trying to do that like one-on-one, but by having what we have, the station set up inside, I just go into one area and just drop it all in. So it's very easy for me, but it hasn't been easy getting to this spot.
If you ever walk by and you see me dragging the guy who owns Instagram in a room, then you hear the door lock and he starts screaming, it's nothing bad happening. He's having fun. It's a game. He's having fun. Don't bother. Yeah. I have a fit with that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I have you on.
I feel you there, man.
What's that, Jim?
I said, I feel him there. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
No,
I'm trying.
Well, so when you were talking about your music and your website and everything, Dad just snuck his phone to me and was like, here. He's like, figure it out.
Mama, he knows where to go. See, that's the part. That's that they call that wisdom, baby girl. That's called wisdom.
Indeed.
Oh, yes. So when it comes to all of that, the social media, the marketing, the advertising, all of this stuff, I have done that in the corporate world and said, I'll see you later. I can't do it for you anymore. So
you were talking about Tootsie's. I have so many memories in Tootsie's. And the where I got my first record deal, do you remember Printer's Alley?
Oh, yeah, very well. Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember the Captain's Table, Al Capone's old place?
Yes.
That's where
I'm
I got
not that old. Let me point that out.
No. But the place for the viewers, these are establishments. Yeah. These are institutions they just decade. Al Capone's old place was killer. It looked like a tiny little sit-in cafe, maybe 10 or 12 tables and a couple of tables up on a balcony. And that's all it looked like. But when you went in through the pantry, it opened up, the back door of the pantry opened up, and it was like an 8,000 square foot ballroom. It was stunning. It was an old speakeasy. And I actually owned the house north of Nashville going towards Rivergate. I owned the house that was a staging area for that bootleg whiskey that was coming in. It had a secret room under the kitchen. It was crazy, freaked us out. But that's where they hid the whiskey that was coming down from Kentucky.
Well, we'll talk more on the back channels on that one. There's a whole book out there about whiskey and coming out of Tennessee and where it back in generations where that came from. And then
I'm Scott Irish, so Slancha. Yeah.
And then Sergeant Two Step's brother, his name is Cash, and his name is Cash for a reason. So good old Johnny Cash and my grandma. So that's why I said I am not that old, but I do have people who are no longer here who just always musically inclined, and that's just how it was. It was old school. It's just like a family reunion style when it was music for me. I didn't even see people as being, you're a status above me. I don't see it like that. You're not. You're people on people. So, and I
the real ones don't do that. The real ones don't do that. And when I was a kid, and I was really about one step away from homeless when I was first in Nashville, and here I am, the guy who signed me to a fun fact. So the girl I'm married to, the woman that has terrible taste in men, right? I've known her since she was 15 and I was 16. So she's a really slow learner. And she's an angel. And basically, when she was 15, her favorite song was Randy Travis, Forever and Ever, Amen. And I was 16. I was all ears and teeth. And I was a tall, skinny boy. And I would stand out there in her mama's driveway and I would sing that to her and she'd look at me with those big old eyes. So I just keep on singing. And she loved that song and I loved her. And there you go. Well,
and is that somewhere around Louisiana? Is that where you grew up?
That was in Tyler, Texas. And
there we go.
I ended up, life, we're kids, and, I did I was a rambler. So there was that. But I did a little wandering around and trying to find my path and ended up in Nashville. So it was 6 years from that point, and I got signed to my first publishing deal in Nashville. And I was writing with this guy who was super cool. His name was Don Schlitz. But I didn't, you couldn't Google people. I didn't know what people did. I just thought they were nice, like you said. And he signed me to my first publishing deal. He and I started writing every Monday. And I'm sitting there looking at his plaques in his office. And I'll be damned. He wrote The Gambler. He wrote all these. He had 52 number ones at the time. But the one that I hung up on, the Joker wrote Forever and Ever Amen. He was the one that signed me to my first publishing deal.
No kidding.
Meant to be. I love that. It's for your wife.
And 26 years, we reconnected in 1997, got married in 99. And when I'm done with this, I'm going to go snuggle with her and we're going to watch something on TV.
Well, you know what? I love that. I love every bit of that about you. So I can connect to that and relate. Well, not to the snuggle up and watch whatever on TV, but good for you. I have a lot of we have a lot to talk about on back channel. So I was meant to find, well, actually, I think Cynthia found me. When she found me at that time, it was me struggling on, do I go back? I just can't do it. Can't do it. So Jim and I will be here as Patriots Inside the Wire, trying to take care of our people. Songwriting is my blood. It's in my bones. It's medicinal. It keeps me from going. Listen, the worst thing in the world's already happened to me. So I'm not scared at all of anybody trying to do anything to me because the worst thing in the world's already happened. So
you want to see something cool?
Yes, sir. What do you got?
So I was there in Texas when Red Dirt was born, right? And I come back. I left Texas. Texas was still in me. Texas was still frozen where it was when I left. And it changed a lot while I was gone. And Red Dirt was created because Nashville had become a parody. So they created something for the wild trailblazers who were making their own path. I came back and I've been really proud, all the DJs and everyone I've spoken to about Red Dirt. They, it turns out that there are a lot more of them that are the way I remembered. But I had someone just tell me, oh, this won't work for Red Dirt. This won't work for Red Dirt. And they just kept saying it. And I was like, what in the hell does Red Dirt do anymore? Because used to be, we were, like I said, we were the like a pirate ship. Everybody was wild and rowdy and we made room for each other. Right.
Yeah.
And now it's sounding like a country club clique. Which the primary function is to exclude all non-members, and that doesn't work for me.
Right.
So instead of me trying to explain what Red Dirt was, I got stuck in a damn traffic jam in Houston, and this happened. It's underneath my nails and the soles of both my feet. Swirling in my veins, my heart hammers out a beat. The same way the old Red River slowly rolls around a bend, carrying deep inside every place it's ever been. And the red dirt roars inside of every twister. There's a scarlet haze where I was raised with my brothers and my sisters. It's so much more than where I'm from or the color of the land. Red dirt covers everything I am.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Mhm.
I've climbed the ivory towers. I've crawled through the valleys low. I was hauling where I started, every place that I might go. I put gravel in my travel. I left footprints in the sand. Looking back at all my track, I can see the master's hand and the red dirt road inside of every twister. There's a scarlet haze where I was raised with my brothers and my sisters. It's so much more than where I'm from or the color of the land. Red dirt covers everything I have. Underneath that open sky, there's so much more than meets the eye. Where happiness and hell collide. Poets dream and cowboys ride. Red dirt road inside of every twister. There's scarlet haze where I was raised. My brothers and my sisters. It's so much more where I'm from or the color of the land. Red dirt covers everything I have. Red dirt covers everything I am.
Love it.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the boots I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
That was beautiful. Number one. We also have, I do have to say her name. She said it a couple times today, Mrs. Mary Minter.
Yeah.
Yes, Mrs. Mary Minter a few times here. I want to say hello to her. Miss Betsy Henderson saying, thank you. That was very nice. Thank you. Miss Mary's mentioned a couple times. She talked to you just today. So
Me and Mary are partners. We're
there
going to
you
take
go.
over the world together. Come on, get on the wagon. It's a big wagon. Come on.
I'm telling you, what's interesting is on the back channels, we'll discuss this whole thing about red dirt. I'll only play a little bitty clip of it, but I just did the exact same thing that you did. And I'm only going to do a second here for you because what we have, everybody, don't go away. What we have is his song that I've got in here about the turkey fighting. And trust me, you don't want to miss it. But into this red dirt.
Red dirt showing on my boots tonight. Honky tonks calling me under these lights. Clint Black singing from the jukebox so fine. Cowgirl me.
I didn't get to hear it.
Back in this moonshine.
You can't hear it?
No, ma'am.
Okay. We'll wait. We'll wait and I'll send it to you personally.
Here's what I want to do. This is what I want to do with that one, just like we talked about with the other thing for the veterans.
Right.
I want to do this for the farmers that are distressed right now, because just what the commissioner said, and I want to bring in all these other indie artists and let us gang tackle this thing together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Put your asses where your mouth is. Get up there and let's back these farmers and these ranchers, because they've been forsaken by crooked people. That's what the commissioner was alluding to. And I love that guy. He's my new hero.
Yeah, he's a very good friend of mine. My brother, unfortunately, is no longer here because of that whole deal going on with our land and our farmers. Our farmers are taking their lives at a rate of more than 22 a day, which is the veterans. So I preach that one as much as I can, that we got to take care of that. That's just awful. But yes, that was the Commissioner Miller. We both attended the whole lane that I'm going to get a hold of Cynthia about. I'd love to see the two of you attend as well. It is right up there near you. So again, back channels, I'll explain that. But you couldn't hear that playing. So what I'll do is just send it. It's not cut. It's just the song itself. I'll make sure you
It
get a
scared
hold
me.
of.
I'm glad it was audio. I thought I drank too much coffee and had a stroke.
No.
Yeah.
Well, it's there. Could you hear it, Jim?
I can hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim, quit lying. You couldn't hear that either. Jim over there sucking up. Quit lying, Jim. You're making me feel bad.
What about this one?
No.
You don't?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we got some.
We've got the audio for sure.
Okay. Y'all just doing that because I live in Louisiana.
No, I got plenty. But we will make sure that you can hear that.
I just hear you guys.
And we can hear the music.
See?
Yeah, it's not singing yet.
Oh, the humanity.
I wanted to see if he could. Can't hear it.
No, ma'am. But I'm down for us huddling up and sharing and reconnecting on that stuff. We'll put a big old pile of stuff together.
We will. So, coming up, in order to find where you're playing, we'll just go to your website, and your website will be updated with where, everywhere that you'll be playing, somewhere live. Where are you playing?
Yeah, the first place that I'm wrapping up this year will be December 21st at Pearl Saloon in the Fort Worth Stockyards. And then I think the plan is we'll kick it at Pearl's, and then we'll do an after party. We'll probably ease over to Rhinestone. I think that's the tentative plan right now. Hadn't confirmed that with everybody, but I love both of those teams. The owners of both of those venues are very like-minded, and they're on that same wagon that we just mentioned a minute ago. We're putting together a coalition of clubs and venues, and everybody's supporting each other, you know.
I bet you anything that you know the person that I never say his name. I've never said it even to Cynthia. He's somebody that I just don't say the name. But I said, hey, I want Patriot Fest. He said, okay, come up there and you can have the whole damn stadium. I said, I don't want to fill the whole stadium. I'm going to still need people to pull it together. You got to have somebody, an act in there to pull the people. So
I got a lot of friends on the countryside. A lot of my guys are, they're now the tier 2 guys that were, top 40, number 1 artists, in the late 90s and early 2000s. But now they've started to kind of ease up on the road, and you've got all the new blood rolling out. But
what is up with the young blood? I hear that quite a bit coming out. What is up with the young blood? What are they calling it young blood? Is it because of that?
Well, I mean, that could mean a lot of different things. I'd have to know who's speaking it and what context they're using. Yeah. I know when they're making a reference to the music, if you go back and listen to what Abel Kane did, that rock band of ours, you go back 20 years ago. Okay. It hits harder than most of the stuff you see coming out of Nashville right now. We had Effervescence guitars, Metallica guitars. We had banjos, mandolins, fiddles, just wearing it out, and hip hop stuff going crazy. And they'd never seen that before. It was just like a giant culture crash up derby. And when the dust settled, it all worked really good together, and the people loved it. And in everybody's playlists in their car, their CD collection wasn't just one kind of music. So we started building the playlist to fit the people, not expecting the people to have to fit the playlist. And so that's what we did. And I would cover Johnny Cash stuff, Hank Williams stuff. And the very next cover that I would do would be Stone Temple Pilots, because I could, So that was the way that we hit it, plus all of our original stuff, which was really, really deep. And like I said, now I've got more material than I can ever record myself. So currently it's mostly through the Springboard artists that I met through Barry Coughing and that organization, as well as Malik Youssef has the Bad Kids class on the West Coast. So I'd met several of those hip hop producers and rappers and artists. So I've started working collectively. I'm working pretty close to around 80 people right now that I'm working with them all and helping them as I can get to it. We're moving, And in a lot of ways, each one of them was missing a piece that the other one had. So I introduced them to each other. And so I've taken all the grains of sand and I've started moving them all into bricks. And that's kind of what we're doing now. Now I'm stacking my bricks.
There you go. There you go. We're glad that we can be to stack those bricks. Jim, do you have something you'd like to say? And we'll let go.
You've got a fan base, because my daughters and I, that's our playlist. It can be Metallica, Stone Temple Pilots, Johnny Cash. It's all in there, and it's all appreciated. And good songs are good songs, and you get so much out of the lyrics.
With Spotify, all I have up is my New West album, and I do have the Turkey Fought Back single on Spotify. But on all the other platforms, every one of the other platforms, they have both the Voices in My Head album as well as New West. So that's a Spotify problem. That's not a DistroKid problem, except for the fact that I believe, if I heard correctly, Spotify now owns a chunk of DistroKid. So DistroKid's now officially been infected, if that's true. But
are you on iHeart or Apple, iTunes, any of that?
I'm everywhere. I don't even know. I did when I finally got on TikTok. I got like 10,000 followers now or something on TikTok, but I didn't even know how to find my music on there. But turns out I've got a bunch of stuff on there too. So it's we've got some hilarious stuff though. It's the turkey song. I put one funny one because that was something, story songs and funny stuff what I grew up with, and you don't hear that anymore. And so I also have a tendency to want to rock a lot. So I made every one of them hit. It's funny, but it's like you'll drive too fast if you're not careful in the car. So you've got the Turkey Fought Back on the first one. The second album, wait till you on the second one, and we're going to do an animated video for this. We did an animated video for Twerking with a Twang, which is hilarious if you hadn't seen it. But we'll do one for we're doing one for Don't Fry Bacon When You Naked. That's the name of the song. Don't Fry Bacon When You Naked. And it's like a Delta blues, heavy rock, and it's on the New West album. And Jim, I'm telling you, bro, it'll blow out the speakers, man.
I love it. Well, you got to follow her. My daughter just found you on TikTok for me and added
Tell that baby I will follow her right back. That's what I do. I'm that uncle. People, I met a lady at the airport who came up and she said, she came up at the airport and she said, "Oh my goodness." She said, "I follow you." I said, "You do?" She said, "Yeah." I'm going to send you a message. When I was coming in yesterday from Miami, we were in Houston, and I said, "Send me a message." And I said, "What's your name?" And she told me. I said, "I'm going to follow you back." And as soon as I got in last night, that was one of the first things I did. Once I could kind of be still for a second, I went through and found her and followed her back. She's been sending me messages and stuff. She's from Alabama. So
there you go. There you go. Good people, good people. Well, it has been great having you on here, Unc. Tonight I've got your website rolling. That is www.unclerhino.com, and that is RYANO, and that is www.unclerhino.com. Please check that out. You've got a show coming up, appearing in December there in the Fort Worth area. I'll get in touch with you for that. And with Cynthia, the announcement is that Patriots Inside the Wire will be working with Texas Free Radio. So there it is. So we'll be working with that, and then I'll get with you on a back channel on who and where I go, and it's in March of next year. So, but I'm going to let you get back to your lovely wife and say thank you so much. It is Thanksgiving tomorrow. We are grateful, and we are just blessed to have you on tonight. And we just want to tell you that mentioning the words Gold Star are very rare. So you have touched our lives tonight in a way that is very big. So for the both of us, I know, Jim, I'm speaking for you, but it's just a rare thing that happens. It's not like someone's, they just don't know what it means. So I just try to educate and say, they can't help it if they don't know. So But you did say something earlier, and I want to leave on that one. And it is, you said, be careful, that monster out there in music, and it can be the meanest, and it'll swallow you up. Honey, the worst thing in the world has already happened to me. So let them bring it, because I've already been there and done that.
That
So
wasn't
there
so
is
much.
nothing.
That wasn't for you. That was for people who want to get in. They think, it's the Bellamy brothers said it best. It's a hard way to make an easy living. And, it's basically every time somebody pats you on the back, they take a pound of flesh. And pretty soon you look down and your clothes aren't fitting right because you're down to your bones. And
Yes.
so basically, but it's a beautiful business that's been operated by poor stewardship and dishonorable practices. And you can make a profit and still be honorable. You don't have to sacrifice one for the other. You have the right way. Styles change, but honor and grit, they never do, and they always come back in style. And people will forget what they look like, and then when they see it again, they freak out. They think it's exceptional. It used to be the common practice, but I came back. I don't know if you've seen in my when I play, from the footage, but I wear my 3-piece suits and my fedoras. I grew up in a wide brim resistol all the time, but now I'm rocking the fedora. There ain't no man buns around here and no man running around in yoga pants. I'm bringing swagger back. Heard me?
Yes, I can feel it. Trust me. I always have to have mine too. So I definitely feel you on that one. Jim too. I know he does too. We got you on that one. But I have your song, The Turkey Fought Back. So I'm going to let you go chill and hang out and watch whatever it is that you're going to watch, and say happy Thanksgiving to you, sir. And I can't wait to talk to you off air. So I look forward to it. And
To all your beautiful families, both you guys and those listening at home, we are sending love, all the love from Louisiana and the Reynolds house. Wishing all of you guys the very best Thanksgiving. Remember why we have what we have and be grateful for what we've got. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yes.
You as well. Appreciate you.
Thank you for coming on Patriots Inside the Wire. You are welcome on at any time. And I look forward to talking to you, sir.
Likewise.
We're going to play his song.
Bye, sir. Stay tuned to Patriots Inside the Wire. You can find anything out there with patriotsinsidethewire.com. Check out what's going on. We've got a lot coming up. Jim, I didn't want you to leave. I see her sitting there just so nice and wanting to say hello. And this is Jim's whole family right here. And so I wanted to make sure. Thank you, Mary. I do see that. Amen, Cynthia. I see that. We mentioned Texas Brew. There she is. That's what I wanted. I knew it. I was like, I was trying, darling. You look amazing. Look at that red hat. Yes. See, we're showing him that we can rock our hat too, right?
Uh-huh.
You're rocking that hat, right? Yeah. I love it. I love it. Could you hear that music when it was playing earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, and it was really clear. That's unfortunate he couldn't hear it, because we could hear it just fine.
Well, I didn't really want to play it because it's mine, and it's like I don't like to play. I was going to cut it completely off as soon as you heard Red Dirt, but he didn't hear it. So I'll go back and look. I'm fine with it. You know that. I was trying to did you see? You'll see later. We'll touch base, but I do have his song, which it's a funny one. It's about a turkey. So the only place to find his music right now is We Have It. So The Turkey Fought Back. And you got to say your name there, hon. You're going to be my little co-host right now.
She wants.
You want to tell me your name?
Sure.
Can you say it a little louder?
Asher.
Asher.
All right. Do you want to hear, Asher, do we want to play Uncle's Turkey? It's The Turkey Fought Back. That's the name of his song.
Want to hear the turkey song?
Yeah.
You want to? All right. Well, we've got Uncle Rhino in the house tonight. right after we had Uncle Rhino talking about all of his music, and he talked about Riley, and he talked about Sergeant Two Step because he knew what it meant. That's a big deal, right? When they actually know it and they know what it means. Kind of like when I heard your story about dancing with our current commander in chief who's coming in, President Trump, Asher. So I love seeing that picture of you and the little dance that she was able to update us on. But yeah, and letting her do it is even better than me trying.
We'll have to send you the video of her doing the dance.
Yeah, there you go. We'll have the video of it. But tonight we've been blessed. Oh, there she goes. Let's see. That or is that what it is? Is that the Trump dance? Is that how you do it? So for anyone tuning in right now, Lance Corporal Riley McCollum's family
like,
is
no way,
here.
everybody's watching me.
And we have Miss Asher who is over here showing us how to do the dance. So that's what she was just doing, literally. And then we have Jim, father of Lance Corporal Riley McCollum tonight, who is the co-host here at Patriots Inside the Wire, who has his whole family with him. I always hear about Cheyenne and Royce and Asher and obviously the rest of the family. So I feel like I know each one of you. My goodness. I mean, Royce drives a truck, literally. Like, I'm like, Jim, how are you not like pulling out your beard and everything?
It gets a little nerve-wracking sometimes. Last
I don't know. I think that would be. They're telling
black
us.
ice all night, just trying to get to us.
I don't know. I'll do my prayers and I check in as much as I can and checking in with you. The one thing I did notice, Jim, when he was talking, so I happened to look up something, and you and I have something in common. So I don't know if you remember that green dot story. Mine started as poems, and you didn't elaborate on yours, just like I don't. And mine has been songwriting for a long time now, but it began because of poems. Interestingly enough, I noticed that do you have a darn book out that you've never even mentioned?
I do.
Okay, everybody. Jim, as we sit here and talk about writing songs and poetry and all, and I'm up and I write at night, and I went and looked and I went, wait a minute, are you kidding me? So I did what your daughter does, and I can dig pretty good. And I went, you have got to be kidding me.
Because it's a story behind getting the book published as well. I've been writing since junior high. And then I think I told you we lost a cabin in a forest fire in 2018.
Yeah.
Everything I had ever written burned up. That was the safest place I knew to keep it. I never put anything on a computer. I never backed anything up. I kept it in a big Justin cowboy boot box. Well, I lost it all in a fire. And after the fire, I started writing again. And then when Riley was in Jordan, he would call me old man because he knew he could get away with it there, where I would have booted him in the butt if he called me old man when he was home. So, hey, old man, you got your book published yet? And it was just kind of a running joke that we had. And then after he died in August, and I had my first book published in March. Basically in honor of the 13 and in honor of Riley. It's like, time to man up and let's just do this. And yes, my book is called Moments and Memories. It's written under Wicked Concepts. All my poems, I sign Wicked, WYKID.
Find it at wickedconcepts.com or Amazon.
Best Buy. Oh yeah, you can find it pretty easy, but I've got that one published, and I'm working on 2 others, and I'm also working on a book of stories about Riley, and then all the poems that I've written about him prior to him even being a Marine, and then post death. So,
I happened to find it, and so I was like, I'll be danged. So Patriot Fest, that's something that we've all talked about this. Between wrestling, UFC, the fights, and now I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Now we're both over here. I'm not kidding, 60, because we're not going to put it out to everybody, but a lot's gone on in the last few weeks, even with you. Some pretty major things with me and you that are ironically, one or two of those things are almost the same. And so it makes me, that's just therapeutic for me. The writing, songwriting, that's what helps me. And so, well, I wasn't kidding. I literally have written probably 60 songs minimum just in the last 2 weeks because of just so much coming at me. So when you mentioned that red dirt, I went, you've got to be kidding me. I've got about 5 about that. So, and there she is with her red hat. I love it. So Asher, would you like to hear the turkey song by Uncle Rhino? I say, since they took his song down and it's tomorrow, a lot of people will be eating turkey, that we should play his song.
Should we play the turkey song?
Asher? So for everybody out there, it's Patriots Inside the Wire. You can check us out at patriotsinsidethewire.com. Check with us on Wednesdays. Every Wednesday night we are live. We do have more coming up because we are taking on radio. So on radio, the good thing there, Jim, is you and I will still be seeing each other, but it will be just, it won't be as a visual. We won't be a broadcast that time. But again, every Wednesday will always be our live broadcasting. We do have our weekly updates that Jim and I like to do when life is a little bit slowed down. And from there, we have radio. So getting out music, getting out words, and all of this. And my idea, Jim, I'll get you on the back channel, if I can get you to pick up your phone, is between your poems and my songwriting. I looked and I went, you've got to be kidding me. There's a few of those we can merge literally into a song. And so it's just my brain. That's how I work. So the therapy of it, I could see it in yours as well. Yeah. And so
after, actually a dream of mine in high school was to be a songwriter. I just wasn't musically inclined. So like I said, I'd write them and then I'd just stick them in a cowboy boot box and never did anything with them. But
I never, like, I would have never put, like, I was just literally playing some of mine there and I would have never done that before. But I'm kind of at that point in life where it's like, everything that's happened, even with, I look right there. And so with Adam, Sergeant Two Steps sisters, literally, they're both, one's down there. And then, Cash, we talk about him, I'm still raising in. So for everybody out there, that's why we bring up siblings a lot. We have a lot of experience with still having the siblings. It's very important to me. I mean, it's something that, and you, Jim, I mean, both of us, as many times as I know everybody brings up homeless veterans, I'm all about that too. But I'm sticking to where I have seen immediate needs, because the reason that a lot of this homelessness comes in is from right at the ground, starts cracking that foundation. Somebody's got to start watching out for that foundation. So I think that's why it worked from the very beginning, when I just was just on a roll of preaching, like, who is going to listen? How many times do I have to say this? It is about the siblings. So there's a lot that needs to be done. There is not a lot of focus there. So anything that we're doing, I think we're on that same page. And so Asher and Royce and Cheyenne, and for all of you out there, I love your stories. I love hearing about you. And I know that he waits every moment till he can be back right with you. So I'm glad you're all together for Thanksgiving. And I have like 3 dogs barking like crazy. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but
we're just thankful it wasn't ours.
No, it's all right. It's all right. We're all really curious about people. And yeah. Well, and Thanksgiving is tomorrow. So, we're grateful for all of you. Please share our show. Let's help get this out. Let's grow it together. We have taken on radio for Patriots Inside the Wire, which fits very well as far as our writing. Asher, I'm going to let Uncle Rhino have his song play, which is The Turkey Fought Back, that we're all going to hear for the first time. And that is from Unc. So, Asher, if you like The Turkey Fought Back, you could dance. But I think I'll give it a thumbs up no matter what. So, Asher, you'll let us know if you like this. I'm going to play this right now, and it is The Turkey Fought Back, and it is by Uncle Rhino. Check this out.
On a turkey farm down outside of Muskogee, a farmer kept losing his turkeys to coyotes. So he took a television and he put it in the coop. Thought the racket ought to make it coyote proof. Only got one channel that would come on. Classic kung fu marathons. They'd flock around it every night, watching Enter the Dragon in the pale moonlight. Time moved on till the holiday season. They had a turkey dinner planned for the evening. He grabbed his butcher knife and he headed to the pen. When they saw the blade, what they learned kicked in. Wings took flight like Bruce Lee. Hands in came more kicking than Jackie Chan. He screamed like a girl, dropped his knife. The farmer was running for his pot-bellied life. On the day the turkey fought back, our train of thought flew off the track. We've got a new kink in the old food chain. The packing order got rearranged on the day the turkey fought back. Now the network news is sounding alarms about the insurrection at the turkey farm. Homeland Security's on high alert. Satellite tracking every barnyard bird. The preacher says the end is at hand. Price just doubled on honey baked ham. It's all that's left for the holiday plate, 'cause the news is spreading from state to state. About the day the turkey fought back, our train of thought flew off the track. We've got a new kink in the old food chain. The packing order got rearranged on the day the turkey fought back. Sierra Club and Peter said we tried to tell you, and the vegans say we brought it on ourselves. And that sweet, delicious canned cranberry sauce is getting dusty on the shelf. Since the day the turkey fought back, our train of thought flew off the track. We've got a new kink in the old food chain. The packing order got rearranged on the day the turkey fought back. On the day the turkey fought back.
Woohoo! How did you like that one, Asher? Did you like that? Oh, we tried to play it
Did you
again.
like that song?
Did you like that? I know you had me dancing when I go back and watch that. It's I'm definitely gonna be like, what were you doing?
I want to show off my shirt in honor of the turkeys.
Aw.
Just live today like you can fried tomorrow.
There, you got it. You got it. We're covering all bases. I don't know if you were watching, Jim, the two of you. If y'all were watching Asher and I literally, she started doing this and I was doing it.
Oh,
so
really?
you have me on live. I'm on the show, literally dancing with Asher. So that might be one that it will end up on TikTok or something. That's what happens. People grab that and go, wait a minute, I just caught something live. So Asher, that they might just get our little clip of us doing the little turkey dance. So great job. Great job. Hey, happy Thanksgiving. You know, it's hard out there. I want to say to all the families out there that you have someone missing at that table. You know, we hate that. I don't have words. I always say that, man, there's no words you can really say except that, you know, it sucks. And I wish that it wasn't that way, but it is. And I'm proud and I am grateful. And I know that I'm blessed because of all of my children. And so I do feel that I am lucky in that respect. And Jim, I won't speak for you, but I will say, again, I am blessed. My children, the things that I get to do, a lot has been going on, but do I miss my son, Sergeant Two-Step? Do I want him here doing all of that? Of course I do. But again, the siblings, I keep pushing this so hard. I don't want them to ever feel like they're not a part of it. It's sitting right beside you right there. So I say happy Thanksgiving to all of you out there. Check out Uncle Rhino's song. If you can't find it, we've got it. And you've got Asher and I just did a whole video for you of dancing like turkeys. So Jim, what would you like to say out there to close us out to everyone for Thanksgiving?
I'll repeat much of the same. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. It's easy for me, and you and I have had a crazy 3 weeks. I haven't connected much. As I was thinking earlier today, and actually said I need to write something a little more positive and happier, because everything I've been posting has been a little bit more on the negative. But that's where my mindset is. But being here with family and being with my kids and my grandkids,
right,
it does change perspective. And sometimes you do have to step outside of yourself and look at how blessed I truly am and how beautiful life still is. It sucks not having Riley here, and there's the family, so many emotions tied to that with Riley that are so painful for us. But we're here, we're healthy, we're together. So
life's short.
All about.
And life is short. So we want to remind everyone that, unfortunately, we got reminded by the abrupt knock at the door when it shouldn't happen. But I want you all to remember that we want you to all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Please tune in again for Patriots Inside the Wire. Coming up soon, we have our Christmas party. That will be fun, Jim. This will be our second annual. And now on the radio. And Miss Asher, Betsy here, and the team for Uncle Rhino is literally saying, look at her go. So, and Uncle Rhino is on all the streaming platforms out there. You can check that out. Again, it's RYANO, Uncle Rhino. And again, to all the families out there that someone's missing at your table, our hearts know your heart, and we are there and we care for you too. Happy Thanksgiving, Jim. It's good to see you. Couldn't wrap up tonight. I don't even have the words to wrap this one up, except to say it was good to see the commissioner. I'm grateful that he's always there for all of us, actually, even though he's here, he's always there for all of us. And then to have Uncle Rhino come in and just be, he can spit it out.
That was fun. He's fascinating. Looking forward to more interaction with him.
Yes, and it was just like boom, boom, boom. I was like, okay, let's go. I loved it, loved every bit of it. He can be our uncle here. He can send his music. We'll be more than happy to play it. But from Patriots Inside the Wire to everyone out there, please have a beautiful night. Spend your time with your loved ones. Life is short. Check out our weekly shows everywhere you can find music. You will find the show literally every streaming platform, from Apple to Amazon, not just your social media. We are also a broadcast company, a podcast to anywhere you like to listen. And now we are officially on air on the radio. So if you have music that you want to get on the radio, get a hold of us here at Patriots Inside the Wire. And I'll get back to you with more on that too, Jim. We got a lot coming up with the website changing. You're going to notice that. So happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. Stand by a minute, Jim, so I can close us out. I see Andrea there. Hello, hon. Thank you so much. She has always been good at watching over our pages. When I went from what's called a Blue Star Mom to Gold Star, she's been around just taking care of things. So thank you for that. I see you, Cynthia. Thank you. Thank you to Texas Brew Radio, which is now the home of Patriots Inside the Wire. So we will be doing a whole lot more in that area. And that's why I was digging up your points, Jim. I think
Stephanie from Las Vegas. I saw her pop up briefly. That was fun. It was nice to see her.
That's where this came from.
Family, absolutely.
Yeah, so the hat, that's Stephanie. She literally said, "Go to
Absolutely.
your mail," and like, wow, she sent me the hat,
I
and
love
I was like,
it.
ah. So we've got some good people out there, and so again, happy Thanksgiving to you too, Jim.
You as well.
We've
Absolutely.
got some fun shows coming up and some good stuff. Hopefully, the next couple of weeks we'll be able to kind of take a breath and
Regroup
get
and get
settled
back in
in.
the swing. Yes.
Exactly. So go have fun. Hold on a moment. We're going to say goodbye to everyone. And let me end this out. So happy Thanksgiving from Patriots Inside the Wire. Check it out. Again, that was Uncle Rhino. You can find him on every streaming platform right now. The Turkey Fought Back is the song that you need to go check out that we just played for you. Please be sure to share that and check that out. And here we are rolling out again. Thank you.
Thank you for watching another episode of Patriots Inside the Wire, hosted by Gold Star Mom, Tracy Two-Step. Help us broaden our reach. Like, subscribe, and share.
Sorry, let's out my brother two-step.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. Stand by and good night. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. And we are grateful again on